Good afternoon. Um, there's a few things I wanted to talk about today about waiting on the Lord. How many of us want things and we want it right now? We don't want to wait. You know, when we wait on the Lord for His perfect timing, things begin to fall into pattern and it's exciting. When we have His finished work in our life, what we're praying about or what God is doing in our life, oh my, we will see the greatness of God. But when we rush and we push and we pull and we tug and we're not waiting for His perfect timing, we only get a partial of what He has for us. It's so much better to be patient and wait on the Lord than to say, but I want it right now. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. Oftentimes, none of us want to wait because we want things right now. But if we're not waiting on Him, we're only going to get a partial of what He has for us. It's important to wait on the Lord. Sometimes we push too much. We push too fast. Or we're moving too fast, and then we look around, we say, God, where are you? Catch up with me. Come on, Lord, catch up with me. And we left Him behind. That's not good. We're supposed to be catching up to Him, not us being way ahead of Him and say, come on, God, catch up to me. No. But this is what we do in our life sometimes because we're moving so quickly. We're not allowing Him to move obstacles out of our life that is hindering us, that is holding us back. He wants us to wait on Him because He sees the perfect timing. He has the perfect timing, and He sees the future where we don't. He sees what kind of obstacles are ahead of us. And if we're not waiting on God, we're not going to have those obstacles moved out of the way. Maybe a few, but to make the road clear for us, we need to wait on Him. You know, so many times we're in a hurry. And I heard the Lord tell me different times, what is your hurry? What is your hurry? Now, this was in the past some time ago because I wanted things and I wanted it right now. And God moved when I sat back and I said, okay, Lord, I'm going to play it by your way. I'm going to wait for your timing. And when I've done that, oh my, God really moved in a way for me that was just incredible. A year and a half ago, I was living at my son's way out in the country. I was not happy being there. I wanted to be where I was close to work, where I didn't have so far to drive. I wanted my own place again. And I had lost my place through circumstances. And lack of work, actually, is what it was. And I had a new job opportunity, but it was like 60 some miles away from where I was living at my son's. And so my sister actually told me, she said, well, you can come and rent a room for me, and that way you can work for those people. So I did that. I moved out of my son's. I went and I stayed at my sister's for a month, I think, maybe, or a couple months. Anyways, I took a job taking care of a man where the man wanted me to move into his home. And I have all the access to his place, but I would take care of him. So I did that. And when I moved there, I wasn't finding it very comfortable there. I wasn't liking the circumstances. And I began to pray. I wasn't happy. And I said, Lord, you've got to have more for me than this. You've got to have better for me than this. Well, all of a sudden, the man wanted to have another lady move in with him because he felt sorry for her because she was homeless. And he said, he was telling his daughters, why can't I have her move in? And that way she can take care of me. And so the daughter said, Jeanette, Dad wants somebody to move in here to take care of him. And I says, what am I supposed to do? I just moved in here. What am I supposed to do? She said, don't worry about it. She said, you find a place to rent. We're going to pay your rent, your first month's rent, your security deposit, and whatever, first and last month's rent and security deposit. And I said, really? And she said, yeah, and I was only at his home maybe a month. So I went out looking. I found a place to rent, and it's where my home is now. And it was way cheaper than most places are, and it's a 2-bedroom. It's a very nice place. And so I went back and I told her how much the man wanted. And she wrote me out a check instantly. She actually, no, she didn't write out a check. She gave me cash. I went and I gave it to the landlord just like that. It was over $2,000 altogether. And I went and gave it to him. But see how the Lord allowed me to move in with that man for such a short little time, so I would have the money to get my own place. And then I began to work for another company. And God had just really blessed me, taken care of me. And He does that because I waited on Him. And I didn't think things were working out for me. But after, it was only a month because I did not like my circumstances living there with that man, taking care of him. He's passed away now, but it was hard on me being there. But I was only there for such a short while, and God seen that His family took care of everything for me to get into my own place. And then the Lord just kept moving me more and more and more. And I'm so thankful because I live in a town I love to live in. And now I'm at my job, staying right here with the client I have here, except for it's a female this time, but I've been staying right at her home, although I still have my place, but my youngest son is living there. But you know, the Lord, He is moving us. He is doing courageous things in our life. If we wait on Him, He will move in our life. I have seen so much where God has shifted me and He's moved me. You know, back several months ago, I was in my car driving, and I have a sister that knows how I love to pray when I'm driving. And she called me and she says, you're driving right now? I said, yes. She said, I know how you like to pray when you drive. She said, would you pray for me? Well, I began to pray for her, and I could feel the Holy Spirit just move all over through me. And I felt a shaking, a tremendous amount of shaking. And I began to speak. It was shaking so bad. I was literally shaking the steering wheel. I was driving in my vehicle, shaking the steering wheel. And I said, I see a shaking coming. It's such a strong, powerful shaking. What was within maybe a week after I had prayed for her, and I felt that shaking so strong that all of these prophets on TV began to saying, there's going to be a shaking, there's going to be a shaking. Well, I called my sister and I said, remember when I gave you that word? She says, yeah. And then I told her what the prophets were saying on TV. She said, wow, isn't that something? Well, see, God will reveal to His people. If we have our ears open to Him and if we're in tune to Him, He will bring revelation to us. He wants to bring revelation to us. He wants to minister to us. When I was over in Africa for the whole month of August, I had a lot of ministry to do over there. And I began to pray. When I knew I had a service to do the next day, I'd begin to seek the Lord and say, God, what do you have me preach for tomorrow night or tomorrow in the day? And because there were 3 services a day. And I'd begin to seek the Lord and ask Him, what is it that you'd have me say? You know, everything He gave me was timing for the people. God touched me to touch other people's lives. And I'm so thankful for that because I didn't know them, but He did. He knew exactly what was needed at the timing of their life, what was going on. And I had so many people after preaching say, that sister, that was just for me. Thank you for that word. That's exactly what I'm going through. That's exactly what the Lord's been dealing with me about. Thank you for that word. Everything was backing up what God had given to me. I'm so thankful for that because the Lord is faithful. He is so faithful. I just want to encourage you today. Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. If things are not happening as quickly as you would like them to happen, hold on. Because God's timing is not man's. We should not rush Him. And I know we do. We all do it at times. But God doesn't want us to rush Him. He wants us to wait and be patiently for Him. And stop being so impatient. But I pray for you today that God will minister to your heart, that your heart will become encouraged, and you won't live in fear and doubt, and you won't question the things of God. Who are we to question God and what He's doing? We need to wait on Him and tell Him, God, I trust you. I believe your word. I have faith that you're going to do what you have said you will do. He wants to use you. Open your ears and pray and just say, God, here I am. Use me for your glory, not man's glory, but for His glory. He wants to use you. Allow Him to. I love you. Please share this video if it has touched your heart. And I will be making more as I feel that the Lord is leading me to do so. Thank you very much. God bless.